Anyway, going back to Eddie Howe, he said getting through such a tough match meant the world to everyone at the club.
It was a proper old-fashioned cup tie, really. I thought means everything to us. There's a lot of emotions during the game. That was really tough. I thought Blackburn played well. Made it very difficult for us to penetrate them and break them down. They were also a threat the other way. I thought our goalkeeper made a couple of really good saves in open play during the game, but as did theirs. So even contest, and we're delighted to get through.
Firstly, well done to them. Commiserations to Blackburn. Is it a lottery, penalties?
Yeah, of course it is. It is a lottery, but I think it is 50-50, of course, it's supposed to be. But sometimes there's always a better goalkeeper than the other. And sometimes not even the better goalkeeper wins. It's the better goalkeeper that's better at saving penalties. So you might have the best goalkeeper, but maybe saving penalties is not his strong point. Like Willy Caballero. He's almost seen as a specialist.
I'm putting you on the spot here. Who was the Dutch goalkeeper?
Tim Krul. Prime example.
That was when Van Gaal took one off and...
Prime example. You get goalkeepers where, like, there's better goalkeepers than Tim Krul, but in that scenario, he's one of the best. So it is a lottery, but fair play. You've got to keep your nerve. You hit the target, you get yourself a chance.
The draw for the quarterfinals, I think tonight at 7 p.m. Newcastle will be obviously hoping for an easier tie, certainly a home tie as well. How important is this competition to Eddie Howe? Not just Newcastle, but more Eddie Howe.
Do you know what? I think the fans are behind him 100%. I think they realise what he's done. They all understand that he's probably ahead of schedule from where they thought he would be. Gets them into the Champions League last season. They finished in the top 4. But with that, expectation grows. And I'm not talking about, again, maybe from the fans, they're quite, all right, it's fine, we're building. But the owners, they've had a taste of that Champions League. They want more of it. If you don't win the FA Cup, which I don't think they will, because there's still some big hitters still in there. If they don't win the FA Cup and they finish like 10th, I think the owners will look at this and go, are we moving forward? I still think the squad's progressing. They've got to balance the books. They've got to get the right players in and get some out. But I do think the owners might look at it and go, okay, do we make a change there? Because there are some big managers out there, by the way.
I've got in front of me Jose, Thomas Tuchel, Conte, Nagelsmann. So if they want to be a super club, they need a super club manager, right? No disrespect to Eddie Howe.
They do, but I do think at times you've got to give managers a chance, because
I agree.
If you let Eddie Howe kind of, right, we finished 10th, we didn't win anything, all right, we'll go again. For all we know, Newcastle might bounce back again next season and get themselves into the Champions League and win a trophy.
But are we only talking about Newcastle like this because they got top 4 last season? So for argument's sake, if Newcastle went 8th last season, would we now be looking at them going, well, 10th, 8th, same sort of thing, but quarterfinals of the FA Cup, what a great job he's doing?
Potentially, but that's what I'm talking about. They're overachieving. Do you know what I mean? They overachieved last season. They're way ahead of where they thought they would be, and fair play to them. They deserve that. But again, the Newcastle fans are behind Eddie Howe. I've never heard one person go, get him out.
You have?
Not one. I've not heard one.
Well, there'll be one. If you ask for that call, that call will come in.
I don't think you're going to find many that want him out. But it was the owners. We know how ambitious owners are. Like, if you put a load of money into a club and you finish 10th after being in the Champions League, they might look at it differently. But the one thing Eddie Howe has got on his side is the fans.
Can the FA Cup save his job? Is his job safe anyway?
Safe.
What's your view?
I think it's safe.
Quarterfinals of the FA Cup, 10th, safe.
Unless they fall off a cliff and finish at bottom half of the table, then it's like, ooh.
But 10th and no trophy, fine.
Yeah, I think the fans are behind him anyway, but the owners will go, okay, we'll let him go again.
We'll put it out there to Newcastle fans, 03717 722 3344. Bentley says he's never listened or heard from a Newcastle fan that says anything other than positive stuff about Eddie Howe.
About Eddie Howe, and rightly so. He's been brilliant.
I'm curious, if there's anyone out there, I'd like to hear from you and your views as to why he's not the right man for the job. I agree with you, I think he is. I think he's done a great job.
And also, the injuries.
Yeah, but everyone's had injuries.
No, but there's
I'm sick and tired of that.
No, but come on, there's a bit.
Yeah, everyone's is.
No.
Liverpool's, Man United, Spurs, everyone's had injuries.
These at one point had about 10 first teamers out. That is ridiculous.
Okay. Well, we'll throw that in the mix as well.
Right.
And also, if you are a Newcastle fan thinking maybe it's time he did move on, would the FA Cup save? How important is the competition for Newcastle and Eddie Howe? Lots to talk about. One number to dial. Pick up the phone and get involved. 03717 223344. Former Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy during Jim White's Simon Jordan this morning said that Newcastle winning a trophy would take some pressure off Eddie Howe.
I mean, that would paper over a few cracks, but yeah, it would be an amazing achievement for them to get some trophy there, because that's what they're aiming for, really. You know, these owners didn't come in to be nearly there. They want to win trophies. Well, they said they're going to. So yeah, I think it would be a huge achievement for them and really set things up nicely for next season and give Eddie a bit of breathing space.
It would be an unbelievable achievement for Newcastle if they were to win an FA Cup.
Yeah, I mean,
it really would.
Someone's put here, Bentley said Newcastle can't win the FA Cup because big hitters are left. We knocked out City and United out of the Carabao Cup, but you didn't win it. So what's the point in winning them games and not winning the tournament?
I know, but that fella's point is...
No, I still think They've got a chance, but I don't think they'll win it.
Okay.
But their form also this season, again with the injuries, it's not helped them. But
no,
listen, I still think Eddie Howe's doing a great job.
Andrew's first up to have his say on National Radio. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, lads. How's it going?
I'm great. I'm very well. How are you today?
I'm not bad, aye.
What would you like to say?
It's just, I think that the fact that this is even a question on the radio that he's relieving pressure that he's got to win the FA Cup to save his job is absolutely crazy.
Well, no, I'm asking the question. I'm not saying he has to. I'm asking, does he have to win the FA Cup to save his job?
Absolutely not. If you look at the season so far, you look at the Champions League campaign, we just went out, and if you look at PSG, last minute penalty wasn't a penalty. If that doesn't happen, we'll qualify from the group. Carabao Cup, Chelsea last minute mistake from Trippier. Not really often he makes a mistake. We'll go to penalties, we'll lose on penalties. You've then got Middlesbrough to play in the next round. You're potentially looking at another domestic cup final. So that's like small margins. And then when you look at the injuries, Bentley's bang on. Everyone has injuries. I totally understand that. Nobody's had as many injuries as Newcastle.
Liverpool have.
No, not like Newcastle. They haven't.
They haven't had as many.
Well, they have. Liverpool have got a whole team out, practically.
Right. So we had 13 first-team players. We've been naming 2 keepers on the bench for about 10 weeks.
How does 13... Hold on. You can't have 13 first team. You can only have 11.
Yeah, but they had 2 strikers out. Isak and Wilson were out for a while.
But Liverpool have had such bad... Spurs have had so many key players missing.
Yeah, you're to 3.
Man United haven't had a back 4 all season.
They haven't had a team. They haven't had a team for part of it.
Everyone's had problems.
Had a player they still wouldn't have a back 4.
Be careful, Andrew. Be careful.
Andy, we've had a 17-year-old kid playing centre midfield for the best part of the season. Joe Linton out for the rest of the season. Wilson's out for the rest of the season. Joe Willock's just come back. He was the best player last season. Been missing all season.
I know, but I hear what you're saying, but the owners don't look at things like this. They look at the Premier League position at the end of the season. If you're 15th, they don't really care about injuries. That's where you finish.
Well, we're not going to finish 15th. What I'm saying is look at the season so far. We potentially could have qualified for the Champions League if incorrect decisions didn't go against us.
Yeah, but you didn't.
Carabao Cup. Well, they did. Carabao Cup.
We didn't.
Like just said, beat Man City, beat Man U. Still in the FA Cup.
Didn't we? Hold on, didn't win it.
We didn't win it, but what I'm saying is...
If you're investing billions and billions of pounds into a football club, and the defence is, we nearly got out of the group, we beat this club, we beat that club, but we didn't win it, that's not good enough.
But Andy, they haven't invested billions and billions of pounds, have they? We couldn't sign a player in January.
They're going to.
We're not... Are we? We couldn't sign a player in January because we couldn't spend any money.
Okay, but the people that own Newcastle, I would imagine, want to see a return on their investment.
Well, they want to sign some better players for Eddie Howe, don't they? Because look at Lewis Hall, potentially 30-odd million. That's not kicked the ball. Not good enough. Do you think Eddie Howe signing players?
No, but here's the bottom line, Andrew, right? You finished top 4 last season.
Yeah.
If you finish 11th this season and no trophy, is that good enough?
I don't think it's a bad season. When we played in the Champions League this year, we've had 2 good cup runs.
Okay.
And with the players that we've got in the squad, we've still got championship players, quality players playing last night in that game.
Well, listen,
Murphy wouldn't get a game from me on a Sunday morning.
That's fine. I can't argue with your view. If you think 11th is good enough for Newcastle, fine. I particularly think Newcastle will be bigger and better than 11th.
But we won't finish 11th.
No, but I said if they... I know, but I said if they finish 11th, is that good enough? And you went, yes.
Well, I think it is for the season that we've had.
So that's what I'm saying, Andrew. I'm saying if you think 11th is good enough, fine. I don't for a club like Newcastle.
Right, so just on before, one more thing, because I will cut us off, lads. You said elite managers, and you mentioned Nagelsmann, and we've had Jordan on before saying that he's just a gatekeeper. They need an elite manager. There's 2 elite managers in world football, Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola. Newcastle aren't getting either one of them.
Is Jose not elite?
Manager. He is elite, but would Jose get more of this squad than what Eddie Howe is?
Conte elite?
Was he elite? I talked to him of all the money that he has.
Is he elite?
Available to him.
Is he elite?
Nah. 2 elite managers in world football. He's a world-class manager. He's not elite.
I think he's... Thanks for your call. I think he is elite, isn't he? Antonio Conte?
Yeah.
I'll say
his European records are appalling, but he is elite. He's elite.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.